Chosen ones, hear this divine proclamation. This message is not a coincidence but a clarion call from the heart of God Himself. You are not here by chance. The Spirit led you to this moment, to this sacred encounter, because you are marked, anointed, and set apart for a purpose that shakes the heavens and disrupts the shadows. You felt it, the weight of something greater, the pull of an unseen destiny, the quiet hum of a power within you that refuses to stay dormant. God is speaking now. It's time to activate your 100% power. Do it now. You are not random, you are chosen, sculpted by divine hands to carry a flame that hell cannot extinguish. The enemy trembles at the spark in your soul, not because of who you are in the flesh, but because of the eternal fire God has placed within you. This is no ordinary season. You've sensed the shift, haven't you? The way the air feels heavier, the way your dreams are no longer just dreams but vivid tapestries woven with symbols you can't yet decipher. Perhaps one night, as the world slept, you awoke with a jolt, your heart racing, and saw in your mind's eye a golden key glowing in a sea of stars, its surface etched with your name in a language older than time. You didn't understand it, but it stirred something deep, a memory of a covenant God made with your soul before the earth was formed. This is the mark of the chosen one, a divine encounter that lingers like a melody only you can hear. God is awakening you to the truth. You are a living altar, and your life is the offering that will ignite a revolution in the Spirit. The Bible declares in Isaiah 60 verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is not a suggestion, it is a divine command. God is calling you to rise, not in your own strength, but in the power He has seated within you. You are not here to merely exist, you are here to radiate, to pierce the darkness with a light so fierce it blinds the forces of hell. But understand this, the moment God marked you, the enemy took notice. The opposition you face, the chaos, the doubt, the inexplicable delays, is not a sign of failure but a confirmation of your calling. The enemy does not waste energy on the ordinary, he targets the extraordinary. You are hunted because you carry a divine blueprint, a celestial code that can reshape destinies and topple strongholds. Before we dive deeper, pause and anchor this moment. Like this video, subscribe, and drop your location and time in the comments. Let's see where God's chosen ones are rising across the globe. If you've been faithfully sowing into this ministry through the pinned comment or super thanks, know this, you are not just giving, you are forging a spiritual legacy. Your support fuels a divine movement, arming warriors in the kingdom's battle. Now, ask yourself, why does the enemy fear you? It's not your past mistakes or your present struggles. It's the power God has hidden in you, a power so potent it threatens to unravel the enemy's plans. You are a walking arsenal, carrying the authority to shift atmospheres and break chains. God says in Psalm 144 verse 1, "Blessed be the Lord, my strength, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle." Your hands were made to wield divine weapons, not to tremble in fear. To be chosen is to be handpicked by God, not for ease, but for impact. Before the stars were hung, before the oceans were poured, God saw you. He carved your purpose into the fabric of eternity. You are not an accident of biology or a product of chance, you are a divine intention, a vessel shaped for glory. Ephesians 1 verse 4 declares, "He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight." This means your life is a sacred script, written by the hand of God, and every trial you've faced is a plot twist leading to your triumph. The enemy sees the glory you carry and attacks to dim it, but God is saying, now is the time to shine. Chosen ones, God's voice is thundering through the heavens, calling you to awaken the untapped power within. You are not here to cower but to conquer, not to shrink but to soar. The enemy's attacks are not random, they are a desperate attempt to silence the divine roar rising in your spirit. You felt it, haven't you? The moments when the world grows quiet, and a fire stirs in your chest, urging you to step into something greater. God is saying, activate your 100% power now. This is not a suggestion, it's a divine mandate. You are a living ember of God's glory, and the time has come to blaze like a supernova in a world cloaked in shadow. Consider this: perhaps in a moment of solitude, as you gazed at the night sky, you felt an inexplicable pull, as if the stars themselves were whispering secrets meant only for you. One night, a single star pulsed brighter, and in its light, you saw a vision of yourself standing on a mountain, holding a staff that radiated with colors no human eye has named. The vision vanished, but the weight of it lingered, a divine imprint that marked you as a carrier of God's untamed power. This was no mere daydream, it was God unveiling the magnitude of your calling, a glimpse of the authority He has entrusted to you. You are chosen, not to blend into the ordinary, but to reshape the impossible. The Bible declares in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." This power is not borrowed or temporary, it is woven into your spiritual DNA. You are a divine weapon, forged in the fires of heaven, designed to cut through the lies of the enemy. But with great power comes great pursuit. The enemy hunts you because he sees what you cannot yet fully grasp. Your life is a key that unlocks freedom for nations, healing for the broken, and light for the lost. Every attack you've endured, every betrayal, every closed door, every whisper of doubt, is proof that you carry something holy, something dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Let's go deeper. You've wondered why life feels like a battlefield, why peace seems fleeting, why relationships fray just when you need them most. It's because your spirit is a beacon, radiating God's glory, and darkness cannot stand it. You disrupt the status quo simply by existing. When you walk into a room, atmospheres shift. When you pray, strongholds tremble. When you speak, chains break. You are not just surviving, you are rewriting the spiritual landscape. But the enemy wants you to believe you're weak, insignificant, or cursed. He attacks your mind first, planting seeds of doubt, because he knows that if he can cloud your thoughts, he can cage your destiny. Romans 12 verse 2 urges, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." You must guard your thoughts like a fortress, filling them with God's truth, because your mind is the gateway to your mission. The trials you've faced are not punishment, they are preparation. God is sculpting you, chiseling away fear and doubt to reveal the masterpiece He created. Imagine a river carving through stone, relentless and unstoppable. That's you, a force of God's design, cutting through the impossible with the current of His Spirit. The enemy's resistance is not a sign you're off course, it's evidence you're exactly where God wants you. You've been betrayed, overlooked, or abandoned, not because you're unworthy, but because God is pruning what cannot carry you into your next season. Those who left were not meant to hold the weight of your calling. God is clearing the path for divine alliances, for people who see the fire in you and fan it, not snuff it out. You are a divine paradox, a fragile vessel carrying infinite power, a mortal frame housing eternal purpose. The enemy sees this and trembles, because your obedience to God's call is a weapon that dismantles his plans. So, rise, chosen one. Stop apologizing for the space you occupy. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. God has marked you to shift generations, to heal wounds, to build what others cannot. Your power is not in your perfection but in your surrender to God's plan. Activate it now, step into the fullness of who He created you to be. Chosen ones, God is sounding the alarm in the Spirit, the hour is now, and your power must be unleashed in its fullness. You are not a bystander in this divine drama, you are the lead, scripted by God to walk in authority that shakes the foundations of darkness. The enemy's schemes are crumbling under the weight of your calling, but he will not relent until you fully embrace the mantle God has placed upon you. You've sensed it, the invisible pull, the moments when time seems to pause, and heaven leans closer. God is saying, activate your 100% power now. You are a divine spark in a world of ash, destined to ignite a holy inferno that consumes every lie and liberates every captive soul. Perhaps in a quiet moment, as you stood by a body of water, you felt a sudden stillness, and the reflection on the surface shifted, not showing your face, but a radiant figure cloaked in light, with eyes like burning coals and a crown of flames. The vision lasted only a heartbeat, but it left you trembling, as if God himself had peeled back the veil to show you the warrior he sees in you. This was no illusion, it was a divine revelation, a glimpse of the spiritual mantle you carry, a crown forged in heaven's fire that marks you as God's chosen. Such encounters are not random, they are God's way of stirring the embers of your purpose, reminding you that you are not ordinary but ordained. The Bible declares in Deuteronomy 7 verse 6, "For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be his treasured possession." You are not a footnote in God's story, you are his treasure, handpicked to carry his glory into places of despair. But treasures are guarded fiercely, and so the enemy stalks you, not to steal your life, but to steal your confidence in who you are. He sends storms to drown your faith, distractions to dull your focus, and voices to question your worth. Yet God is louder, saying, "You are mine, and I have equipped you with power to tread on serpents and scorpions." Luke 10 verse 19. Your authority is not earned, it is bestowed by the one who formed you. Let's talk about the fire you've walked through. The betrayals that cut deep, the dreams that seemed to die, the nights you wrestled with questions only God could answer. These were not accidents, they were forges, shaping you into a weapon of divine precision. Imagine a sword being tempered in flames, struck again and again until its edge is unbreakable. That's you, chosen one. Every trial has honed your spirit, every tear has watered your resilience, every loss has carved space for God's strength. The enemy thought he could break you, but God was using the pressure to reveal the diamond within. Your pain is not your identity, it is your training ground. God is not punishing you, he is positioning you to walk in power that shifts atmospheres. The resistance you face is proportionate to the glory you carry. The enemy doesn't attack the powerless, he targets those who threaten his dominion. You are a divine disruptor, a living testament to God's power. When you pray, mountains tremble. When you worship, chains shatter. When you stand, darkness flees. But the enemy wants you to stay small, to believe your battles are personal, not prophetic. He wants you to see your struggles as failures, not as the birth pangs of your destiny. Reject that lie. Your life is a battlefield because it is a birthing ground for miracles. God is weaving a tapestry of triumph through every thread of your suffering. You are a divine paradox, a fragile clay jar holding the fire of the Almighty. The enemy sees the cracks and thinks you're weak, but God sees the cracks and pours his light through them. Your weaknesses are where his power shines brightest. So, rise, chosen one. Activate the power God has placed in you. Stop waiting for permission or perfection. The world is waiting for the glory only you can release. God is calling you to step into the fullness of your anointing, to wield the authority he has given you, and to shine as a beacon of his unstoppable love. Chosen ones, God's voice is echoing through the corridors of eternity, summoning you to unleash the full magnitude of your divine power. This is not a moment to hesitate but to ignite, to step boldly into the destiny God has etched into your soul. You are not a mere spectator in the cosmic battle, you are a warrior, anointed by God to tear down strongholds and illuminate the earth with his glory. The enemy's assaults are intensifying because he knows the hour of your awakening is here. God is declaring, activate your 100% power now. You are a divine flame, kindled by the breath of God, and your light is meant to consume the shadows that dare to linger. Perhaps one evening, as you sat in silence, a sudden warmth enveloped you, and you heard a sound like rushing wind, though the air was still. In that moment, your spirit was lifted to a vast desert where a single olive tree stood, its roots glowing with liquid gold, pulsing as if alive with God's heartbeat. You reached out, and the tree whispered your name, not in words, but in a vibration that stirred your bones, revealing a truth: you are rooted in God's eternal purpose, unshakable and alive with his power. This was no ordinary moment, it was God's signature on your soul, a divine encounter marking you as a vessel of his unquenchable fire. Such mysteries are the birthright of the chosen ones, proof that you walk with heaven's favor. The Bible proclaims in 1 Peter 2 verse 9, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." You are not an afterthought, you are God's masterpiece, sculpted to reflect his splendor. But with this calling comes a cost. The enemy targets you because your life is a threat to his dominion. He sends confusion to cloud your vision, rejection to wound your heart, and delays to test your faith. Yet God is greater, saying, "No weapon forged against you will prevail," Isaiah 54 verse 17. Your power lies not in your own strength but in the God who upholds you. Let's confront the battlefield of your soul. The loneliness that haunts you, the doubts that whisper in the night, the scars that tell stories you'd rather forget, these are not signs of defeat but badges of your training. God is forging you like a celestial arrow, sharpening your edge in the fires of adversity. Picture an arrow being crafted. It is bent, burned, and struck, not to break it, but to make it fly true. That's you, chosen one. Every wound has refined your aim, every setback has strengthened your resolve. The enemy thought he could bury you, but God was planting you deep, so your roots could draw from his eternal spring. Your struggles are not your story's end, they are the prelude to your victory. The opposition you face is a mirror of the power you carry. The enemy doesn't waste arrows on the insignificant, he aims at those who can change the tide of battle. You are a divine catalyst, sparking revival wherever you go. Your words carry weight, your prayers shift realms, your presence disrupts the enemy's plans. But he wants you to believe you're powerless, that your battles are meaningless. Cast that lie into the fire. Your life is a divine symphony, each note of pain and triumph orchestrated by God to resonate through generations. You are not fighting for survival, you are fighting for legacy, for souls unborn, for kingdoms yet to rise. You are a divine enigma, a mortal body housing an immortal flame. The enemy sees your humanity and mocks it, but God sees your spirit and exalts it. Your frailty is the canvas for his strength, your brokenness the stage for his miracles. So, rise, chosen one. Activate the power God has ignited within you. Stop seeking approval from those who cannot see your crown. The world awaits the glory only you can unveil. God is calling you to wield your authority, to walk in boldness, and to shine as a lighthouse in the storm, guiding others to his unshakable love. Chosen ones, God's voice is roaring like thunder across the heavens, commanding you to unleash the full force of your divine authority. This is not a season to linger in the shadows but to blaze with the radiance of God's glory. You are not a pawn in this spiritual war, you are a general, anointed by God to command atmospheres and shatter the chains of darkness. The enemy's attacks are relentless because he fears the moment you fully awaken to your power. God is proclaiming, activate your 100% power now. You are a celestial torch, lit by the hand of God, destined to set ablaze the dry places of despair and ignite hope in the hearts of the weary. Perhaps one dawn, as you stirred from sleep, you felt a sudden weight on your chest, not of fear, but of presence. In that liminal space between dream and waking, you saw a golden scroll unfurl before your eyes, its edges shimmering with fire. Words danced across it in a script you couldn't read, yet your spirit understood. They were promises, assignments, destinies written for you by God himself. As the vision faded, a single phrase burned into your soul, "You are my envoy." This was no fleeting dream, it was God's seal upon your calling, a divine encounter confirming you as his ambassador in a world crying out for truth. Such moments mark the chosen ones, anchoring you in the reality that you are heaven's voice on earth. The Bible declares in John 15 verse 16, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." You are not here by accident, you are God's deliberate design, appointed to bear eternal fruit that shifts the course of history. But fruitfulness draws predators. The enemy stalks you because your life is a garden of God's promises, and he seeks to uproot you before you bloom. He sends discouragement to wither your faith, isolation to starve your spirit, and lies to choke your confidence. Yet God is mightier, saying, I am the vine, you are the branches, apart from me you can do nothing, John 15 verse 5. Your power flows from your connection to God, an unbreakable bond that fuels your victory. Let's face the crucible of your journey. The rejections that stung, the dreams deferred, the moments you felt abandoned, these were not your undoing but your forging. God is shaping you like a lighthouse, built to withstand the fiercest storms while guiding others to safety. Imagine a lighthouse, its stones are battered by waves, yet it stands firm, its beam piercing the night. That's you, chosen one. Every storm has fortified your foundation, every loss has clarified your purpose. The enemy thought he could extinguish you, but God was using the winds to fan your flame. Your pain is not your prison, it is your platform, a testimony that will lead others to freedom. The warfare you endure is proof of your rank in the Spirit. The enemy doesn't target the irrelevant, he hunts those who carry divine authority. You are a kingdom architect, building bridges to God's heart with every act of faith. Your prayers are blueprints, your worship is mortar, your obedience is the cornerstone. But the enemy wants you to doubt your impact, to see your battles as defeats. Reject that deception. Your life is a divine construction site, and every trial is a brick in the legacy God is building through you. You are not just surviving, you are shaping eternity, breaking curses, and birthing miracles for generations to come. You are a divine mystery, a fragile seed carrying a forest of glory. The enemy sees your smallness and scorns it, but God sees your potential and nurtures it. Your limitations are the soil where His miracles grow, your struggles the rain that brings forth life. So, rise, chosen one. Activate the power God has planted in you. Stop hiding your light to avoid criticism. The world needs the fruit only you can bear. God is calling you to walk in your authority, to bear fruit that endures, and to shine as a beacon of His eternal promise, drawing the lost to His everlasting love. If this stirred your soul, like, share, and subscribe. Support this mission through the pinned comment. Your generosity fuels a holy movement.